What is going on, you dead set legends? Hey, it is all happening, ladies and gentlemen. Just welcome to the show. Welcome to the Ready Bang Wrestling Podcast. We are all hanging and banging, slinging and slanging after a mega weekend. And if you're just catching the end of the fix, I'll tell you what, 2023 is looking magnificent. So you just need to clear your calendar, because it is all happening. It's so good. It's so good. But we're going to talk about this weekend in a moment. Thank you, people. I want to have a chat to everyone that is here. Give us a ready bang. And, of course, our mega live show tomorrow with a huge guest. So it is all happening. Give us a ready bang in the chat. As I was saying, Arm Gods Bang is happening in January, as well as East versus West. King of the Table, February. Arm Wars Iron House. I'll be off to Norway in March. So there's Arm Wars Iron House, but I'll be off to Norway. Norway versus Sweden. Mega super matches, tournaments, junior tournaments, this tournament, that tournament, every tournament. What is going on? And then, of course, what else? And then from April, I'm thinking about doing East versus West 7 in April. And it's just awesome. It is just awesome. Quick shout out. I need to add plenty of names to this. My YouTube and Patreon bangers for just as little as 50 cents a week. You can help out the Aussie arm wrestler. And I really appreciate each and every one of you, because you can sit there, bang, get your name on the list, get a bit of behind-the-scenes action. But yesterday, there was gifted membership, so I've got to chuck some more names on there. But how is everyone going? Let's see who is in the chat. Oh, better scroll back up. King Otto says, Aussie, I need therapy from you to get over Harry's missed penalty. You're talking about the World Cup. That was insane. Don't know how we missed it. Engen Terzi's phone charger says ready bang. Joel Cagle, the chicken man, the strawberry cough, says ready bang. Hail the chat, not my monkeys, not my circus. Dan Jean says ready bang. Ryan Bussier in the chat. Who else have we got? What's up, fam? Says Atlantis. What's up, fam? If you can quickly give a like. I've got a poll going. You know I love the arm wrestling polls. You know I love you guys voting for everything. Luis Espinoza sat there and said, sup, champ. Hey, Zeus says, saludos, Pavlos. Looking strong. Dizzy, busy. 88 says, hello, Jake. Ready, bang. Paul Barrett says, ready, bang. Get the Engen pay-per-view boat and don't be a pirate. Cheers. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm big on people like just purely ripping off content and things like that. I made a video or a poll or something the other day on the channel, and someone sat there and just went, I can't afford it, so I have to watch pirated events, which is nasty. Assist, just given the flex. And it's all happening there. Good afternoon, eating some oatmeal and yogurt from Nikolai. Who else is in the chat? Have I missed anyone? Not my monkeys, not my circus says, will there be another over the top in Oz? Hopefully. We just had Nationals, which looked amazing. I really do hope there's another over the top. Sees Guitars account is in the chat. Okay. I think I've said hi. Hi to everyone. So, Monster Factory 3 was in the books. Tell me everything you loved about it. And if you have anything to vent about it, chuck it in there. We can discuss it. I thought the event was great. I do like the look of the Monster Factory. We had 10 super matches on the card. They did a pre-show the day before, which I thought was pretty good. Victor quickly jumps in the chat, says, ready, bang, Jake. Thanks, Victor. I thought I like the idea of the pre-show to nut out any, test the audio, test the video, test the cameras, test everything. I like that idea, but it is also a perfect opportunity to get people excited for the pay-per-view. So, for example, they had 4 matches, and they were talking a bit about the matches, and they were just kind of back and forth, and it wasn't really, like, oh, you're eating a sandwich, Bob Brown's making sandwiches, and it was just, I know they were working out some bits and pieces, but I just thought, come on now, let's just hype up everything and get super excited. But a massive shout out to Michael Todd and Rebecca Todd and any other person that helped do that event, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. ENET Live, John, my man, did a great stream. Thought it was good. He had the graphics going. The pictures were coming up. The scores were getting updated. Couple of little slip-ups I thought were funny. I think during one match it was 11-0, but that was happening. And, of course, my man, the Strawberry Cough, got a couple of big wins. Just won quite easily against Travis Tuggle. So hopefully more matches for him. Joel is in the chat. He says, Joel, told you I was going to smash Travis Tuggle. My word of advice for you, Joel. my one word of advice. If you get invited onto a show to pull a big event like the Monster Factory is, don't use your airtime to promote another event that's on the same day. I couldn't stop laughing. Chicken Man, I love you. But it was funny. Joel's on there. He's like, hey, everyone, tomorrow, I think you had training, a big training session or something like that. We're going to do this, and we might have the Monster Factory on the screen. It was like, oh, that wasn't. I know what you're thinking, but yeah, next time it's like me just going into a Nike shop. Thanks for having me, Nike, as a special guest. Don't forget, Nike have got their big launch tomorrow, but we're going to launch my new Ready Bang Adidas shoe. It's like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. I did find it funny though, Joel. You're my man. You're my man. So everyone can just punch that like button. If everyone could punch. Joel says, I don't give a fuck. But that's why I love you, Joel. That's why I love you. I did find that funny, but congratulations to you on getting the wins, because getting the wins builds up. This is the second time you've been on the Monster Factory. I hope you get more big matches. Jeremiah in the chat says Ready Bang. Joel Cagle's event on Saturday was fun as shit. Race to 20 wins. That is cool. Megatron says, Aussie, how do you like Monster Muggle Todd's losing streak? I feel it will continue, especially if he accepts the Sandris call out. Well, his next match is against Ongabayev, so hopefully his right arm holds up. So he's on a 2-match losing streaks, because don't forget, he beat Toddzilla. And if that flash pin was called at East versus West, then he beat Rivas. But that was an awesome match. So look, I think he's exciting. Pablo was a different beast about that. Just quickly, Neil Pickup says, evening, Jake. Hope you and family are all happy and healthy. Have a fantastic show. Shago, I'm absolutely ultra-bolly this evening. Got to hit the shower, then the hay. Say stoic. Yeah, mate, everything is always well, Neil. Got Sarah Backman on the show tomorrow. Always love watching Arm Wars with Miss Saturday Coffee. Little Zadie was a bit under the weather, so I did miss it, but I did rewatch your last one. Looking forward to Arm Wars every weekend. Of course, that's happening in March. Love what you're doing. Keep being awesome, Neil. Get extra ultrabolic. I might steal that one off you. That could be a new shirt for you, Neil. Being ultrabolic. Enjoy your shower. You fucking dead set legend. really enjoy it. But yeah, Tony Farina, how are you, buddy? Try and make sure I say hi to everyone that jumps in the chat. So 50 people already in the chat. Give us a like. You genuine superstars. Dominic Lorenz has jumped in. My man. So that's happened there. We were just going on about Monster's losing streak. I'll always watch because in a flash like that, Monster can pull something out of his hat, beat Ongabayev, and then suddenly he's the 105 kilo champion. So that was good. I liked. Yes, Wars Christmas special. Yes, I did hear about that. We are also doing our awards night, Neil. Ours might be a little bit different to yours, Uncle John and I, but I am looking forward to that awards night that you are doing, my man. It is awesome. It's brilliant. Bloody hell. So the Monster Factory had 10 super matches. We start off with 5 undercard, 5 main card. 10 matches went relatively quick. 10 matches in it was just a little bit over 3 hours. And we had starting off, Australia got hurt again. Oh, my man Kyle. My man Kyle gave it everything. I love Kyle Howarth. Everyone, it's Kyle Howarth. The poor guy, I don't think anyone could pronounce his name right. But he went over there. I was very happy he represented Australia well. But big Bobby Brown was able to hold, get a King's move happening. They had some good little battles on the undercard, and I was devastated for Kyle. He tried a couple of lanes. Round 2, he changed it up, wanted to go a different lane. Bob just took him. But Kyle put up a decent effort. So very happy for Kyle, and congratulations for Kyle for getting on something like that, because there are so many great pullers in North America that could just go up the road. So you paid thousands of dollars to get over to the Monster Factory. So, and you represented Australia very well. And very, very impressed. But Bobby Brown got the victory. Dustin Hyatt was up next. You've seen Dustin on the Monster Factory. You've seen Dustin Hyatt on Arm Wars. And he came back and continued his form. Corey Johnston got the jump on him, though. And then Dustin had to go to the corner, get himself slapped in the face a little bit and give the old... And then... And came in and won the next 3 matches and won a couple of them quite convincingly. So congratulations to Dustin Hyatt, which was good. People are saying Bob looked thick. He really did. Looked thick. And what else have we got? Bob Brown was bragging it and slagging it again at the Monster Factory. He was pretty good. It was good. He was good. He beat Kyle. He beat a quality puller. So that's why it's a congratulations to Bobby Boy. Craig Tullier and Brandon was match of the day for sure. We'll get to that a little bit later. Captain Obvious in the chat. Ready Bang. Great day for arm wrestling yesterday. Washington State tourney was awesome. Uncle John and Jody rocked the mic. We're going to get to that a little bit later on, which is good. What else happened in the pre-show? Brent Rakers steamrolled Joe Fox. I sat there. I got pretty comfortable. I thought we're on here. I thought we're going to have an absolute mega match. I thought it would be brilliant. But then it didn't. Brent Rakers just came through. And Joe's a good arm wrestler. Joe is a very good arm wrestler. But it was Brent Rakers' day. Brent Rakers looked strong. Brent Rakers looked mega. And he came in and he's happening. Forbidden Prop says, what's up, Aussie arm wrestler? Of course, this guy here, guys, if you aren't aware, Forbidden Props here, he's the guy that made all the battle axes, that all the title matches were for, the Monster Factory battle axes. That's this guy here. Go hit up his Instagram. He makes some awesome, awesome stuff. So get on there, everyone. say g'day to him. Yeah, Brett Rakers came in, steamrolled. I was like, oh, shit. That wasn't the way it was bloody going. That wasn't too good. We had an injury in one of the matches. It's really hard. It's really hard. In you encourage pullers to pull. You encourage pullers to pull, and but they need to be taught to pull in the right way. We saw it a while ago with Kirsten Prodigy when he tried to pull Bojidar. Once you get underarm like you're holding soup and try and pull from there, your bicep is going to go. Your bicep's going to go. If you're pulling someone much stronger than you and you're trying to defend from like underneath here and not pronating underneath here, you are in fucking all sorts of trouble. And unfortunately for Leroy Walker, just didn't happen. And I wish him all the recovery. Hopefully it was just a little strain, a little pop, a little up, and then we can go from there. Now, before I get to the women's match, I've been banging on for weeks about a website going live. Well, you wouldn't believe it, guys. It is live. The next big event that is happening is Armed Gods. Mate, they are dominating here. They've got everything. Their memberships is awesome. It's just so good. All the perks from their members' plans is unreal. Oh, mate, look at these. I'll just quickly go through it. Look at these bad boys. Huge discounts, super coach training, but it's strongman training. It is arm wrestling training. You get some one-on-one Q&As. They've got a members social chat area, so like their own like arm wrestling Facebook, but on this website. You know, it's just unreal. And this one, the God one, even though it's $14.99, that's the most popular one in my opinion. It's definitely the best one. So get onto it. Gods January. Devon's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Uncle John's going to be there. Cobra Rhodes is going to be there. Evan Burgoyne. Did I say Evan? Megatron says his Arm Gods like a Twitter type, Facebook type. No, Arm Gods is a new arm wrestling promotion, but they're just offering more. They're offering more than just events. They're going to have some events, and then they're saying, hey, not only are we going to have events, but we're going to have other bits and pieces as well. Forbidden Props with a $9.99 super chat. He says, make sure to buy an Aussie arm wrestler shirt. Well, we're currently sold out at the moment. I'm hoping I get a nice little Christmas bonus coming up, and then I might invest in that in ordering more Aussie arm wrestler shirts. You can buy a Ready Bang shirt. The link is in the comments, but you can buy a Ready Bang shirt. Thank you very much for your super chat. But get on. As everyone's having a... Oh, Arm Gods is in the chat. Arm Gods. He's in the chat. Thank you very much, Forbidden Engravings. Go, if you can, drop your Instagram, Forbidden Engravings, because he's the one that made the battle axes. But Arm Gods, my guys there. They're my guys. Love myself some Arm Gods. What else have we got? Oh, Monster Michael Todd in the chat. He said Leroy was fine. He felt a pop. And out of Bunyan's caution to stop pulling. Oh, yes. Thank you, Michael Todd. Thank you. Yes, good update. That is awesome. Monster Michael Todd, you dead set legend. I hope you guys aren't too tired. Let me know if you want to come on and chat about it right now. If you want to chat about the Monster Factory as we're going through it all. Really appreciate the update on Leroy. That's what we want. Thank you very much, my man. So then thank you very much for that, Michael. The last match of the undercard was Mrs. Monster and Sarah Latona. They were both on the show last week and chatting on and off camera with Rebecca. If you know Mrs. Todd personally, you know how much that was a huge victory for her to just get on the table. So congratulations for you for getting on the table. Sarah was too strong on the day. Yeah, next time, mate. Rebecca's taking it up next to me. I'll come on. Yeah. Oh, you guys are huge supporters of the Aussie Arm Wrestler, so I genuinely appreciate it. As everyone is saying, awesome things. Dan Jean says, great event. Dan Liu is saying, great event, which is good. Being knackered. And look, Rebecca has been spending all this time organising an event. She had to organise. She's commentating. She was the bloody CEO, trying to make sure everything's good, make sure the pools are fine, demanding stuff, and then try and get on the table and have a match. It is exhausting. But it happened. Sarah came in, went whack, won 3-0 in that one. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Sarah only had one gear, and that was full gear. She didn't want to hold back on it. And hopefully she called out someone. I haven't rewatched the event yet. I haven't rewatched the event with the audio because I like to watch. I do my commentary, and then I like to watch it back with the other teams. Commentary, because there was Rebecca, there was the Monster Factory, Monster Michael Todd, there was Jason, and then they, of course, they had people doing the post-match interviews, which I heard a little bit of. Even Gay Prudix Treesap says, thanks for the show, Monster Michael Todd. We appreciate you. As everyone is just having, have I missed it? I just like to make sure if I've said hi to anyone. As Muscle Bike jumps in. The Drew 24 is in the chat. Artem is out until July, so we should face someone else beforehand. I believe he's talking about, Corey West, which we'll get to a little bit later. I've got a poll going who Corey West should face next. Thanks for the event from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Monster Michael Todd. It was awesome. Sarah had one gear, unlike Liver King. Nice from you. Great event. Ready Bang. Mimimski has come in. Justin says, I wonder if those super strong guys who are inexperienced need to be protected a little bit more. Too much power injuries are inevitable. I think it's but I think it's anyone. It doesn't matter if you're super strong. I think it's just if you are inexperienced. I think it's just if you are inexperienced. So yeah. So that was a great undercard. It was a nice little warm-up, nice little teaser. They got through the 5 matches. They had the back and forth, different camera angles. You could then they would cut back to the commentators having a bit of a chat. So yeah, it was the undercard. The undercard was good. Good opportunity. If I could suggest anything to those people on the undercard that were pulling, the camera is your friend. So if you're wearing a shirt as a sponsored athlete or you want to get yourself over, soon as you pin someone, look at the camera. You had 3,000 people, 3,000 plus people watching. So if you sit there, turn to the camera. Yeah, if you've got people sponsoring you, give them, like when, soccer players kick a goal and they show their country's logo or something like that. Get in there and just go, yeah, and do that. So Jake's iron hip, my new iron hip. I think it's titanium. I'm ready. I'm late, but ready. Bang. So yeah, that would be my suggestion to some of you guys. But it's very hard. Like when you're in the moment, you get a big win on a big stage. The VIPs look like they were enjoying themselves. I spoke to one of the VIPs there. He said he has a blast, and it's the second time he's been a VIP at that event. So what they're doing with the VIPs appears to be working because everyone is saying it was a a mega event. So we started. I'm trying to think the order. We start off with Chan Shaw and BJ Fakakis. Adam Hastings jumped in. Have I said hello to you? If I haven't, late too. Weddy, bang. As everyone is coming into the chat. If you can hit the like button while you are here, that would be amazing. Just quickly hit the like button as we roll on. Jake, 100K, YouTube, number 1. Good day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Monster Michael Todd's at 100Ks. Coach Ray's just hit another channel with 100Ks. Ryan Bowen will hit 100K soon. Hey, look, I'm having Sarah Backman on the show this time tomorrow, so that might help. That might help. Spermy's ass is creamy, says bang. Hi, Jake. G'day to you, Spermy's. Dave Anderson says Kawa Bunga. Uncle John's arm wrestling show says in airport, and he's been a member for 9 months. Send link if you want, handsome boy. You know what, Uncle John? I will. Let's get Uncle John. Copy. Uncle John can talk about the main card with me and talk about Washington States with me. Oh, he said, I didn't see that message. Send the link. There we go. I've sent you the link. So Uncle John, we'll wait for Uncle John. You dead set. Let's just give you enough time to get out of the chat. Hit the like button. Do what you got to do. I've also started my top 10 matches of 2022. So guys, if you can show that video love, I'm just going to show a few of my videos love. Let me just get that up. And then if I go present, share screen. You know, I'm big on me. So I've got it there. Top 10 arm wrestling matches. If you can watch that one and then watch a whole heap of my videos. You awesome people. Live from the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Javelin incoming. 3, 2, 1. Megatron says, I'm loving Super Sundays. Tomorrow's Maximum Bang Monday. Well, we're postponing. We're postponing our Maximum Bang Monday awards night because I'm having Sarah Backman on the show. And it was the only time I could get her on. So I was sending photos to Uncle John, me wearing a Santa hat, being all sad, saying, please don't hate me. But we have to postpone Maximum Bang Monday. And I was telling Uncle John, I'll tell you guys in the chat, I felt like Uncle John and I went out as boys. Yeah, Uncle John, let's go party. And then I met a girl and I promised Uncle John I'd give him a lift home. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're going to hate me.
Hey.
Anyway, live from the airport. What's going on?
Hey, man. Well, first off, who am I to get between you and Sarah Bachman, right? Haven't you been trying to have her on your show for like a year and a half or something like that?
I've asked a couple of times. I even reached out to her husband.
Yeah.
But even as little as 3 weeks ago, she said no because
it's too much stuff going on.
Which, yeah, got a bit going on. I got nothing to talk about. And then suddenly she followed me on Instagram. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm on here.
It's in. It's in. The fix is in. Well, good stuff. Yeah, I am about to start my journey back to the East Coast from the West Coast. I'm in Portland now. I'm going to San Francisco, which is 2 hours, then to Toronto, which is 5 hours, and then to Halifax, which is another 2.5 hours. So
why does it take so long?
It's the worst, dude. It's the worst. So I am leaving at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and I'll get home tomorrow at noon Atlantic time.
Shit.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be quicker if you just flew direct to Melbourne and hung out.
Probably. You know. Well, I'll consider that next time.
Oh, it's that
but
shit.
Let me.
Yuck.
With that being said, I would not have missed this event for the world because it was a good time. Washington State's, it was
Looked like a lot of fun.
oh man, it was so wild. There was like with Artem there. Did you see their Artem matches? Artem was wrecking house yesterday. He got in 220, so he's pulling up to 220. He weighs like 200 pounds, right? He gets second place left-handed 220 and first place right-handed in the 220. So he's like top 3. If he was in the 220 class, he'd be top 3 below Paul Lynn and John Brzenk.
Wow.
Incredible, right? Incredible. So I was really happy for him. I jumped in. I was in the 242s in the heavyweights because I did pull. I pulled left. I just wanted to make sure that I got an opportunity to get things straight before Arm Gods because I won't be competing anymore between now and Arm Gods on January 14th.
Yep.
So I wanted to go in and just get some repetitions. I ended up getting 3rd place in the supers and 4th place in the 242s. I was really happy with how I was hanging guys up, but I had a little problem. I've lost 3 matches on timing issues, all just couldn't get engaged the right moment. So now moving into Arm Gods, I know that's what I need to work on now. I have to I really got to tighten that up and get after it and start screwing on a little bit more. But I was dragging my matches out, trying to push my endurance. I was having long, ridiculous, stupid matches. So it was all good. The event itself, really, really good. Over 300 entries, awesome place to be, packed to the gills. Everybody, you could cut the testosterone sweat with a knife in there. It was very good. And okay, let me say this too. Tim Talmadge, Tim Talmadge, right? We've talked to Tim Talmadge.
Great guy.
Yeah. He is more fun than I thought he would be. I knew he was going to be a fun guy, but Tim's a fun guy. He knows how to put on an event, have a good time. I really, really, really gained an extra level of appreciation for Tim Talmadge this weekend, for sure.
Oh, he's a great guy. I've had dinner with him because he was the referee at King of the Table.
Oh, right,
so we spent
right.
a bit of time together, but I didn't get the super partying Tim Talmadge because he brought his young fella with him. And they went and did some touristy things, and then they pop in and head off, pop in and head off. So yeah, but the time I spent with Tim, he's a great guy, and it looked like an awesome event. People are happy with your commentary, which understandably.
I think it was interesting because I usually when I go and I do emceeing at an event, I'm on a live mic in the arena, right? And I'm calling it by match. But what these guys requested, because they used Corey Miller's Aries bracketing system, and that system is mega, really ran very smoothly, but they wanted to have control over the calling of the names to make sure it flowed as smoothly as possible. So I only live called a couple matches that were at the end of classes, and then everything else was just for the live stream, which made my job infinitely easier because I just got to stay at the table and then really focus on the live stream. So that was really cool. I enjoyed working with Chocolate Thunder, Jody Williams. Yep. That was really good. Robert Kelly was there. He was banging it out with the other. There was a couple audio video guys there that were doing an awesome job. Artem was there hanging out and a bunch of other people. So really good time.
Just been up and taking names.
High level too. Some of the classes just really, really deep, really high level action going on. So you missed a good one. You definitely missed a good one.
And then they had 15 super matches or something as well, didn't they?
Well, they had, I think they had six super matches. And I was really impressed with Jody Williams. Jody Williams won both of his super matches. I think he got first in the Masters. We didn't meet up in the 242s in the Open, but Jody Williams and we pulled immediately. We were the first pull with each other after the event. And I think it's fairly likely that you will see Jody Williams and I on an actual table, whether that's Arm Gods or Arm Wars or King of the Table. Sign it up because I think that would be a brutal match left-handed.
There you go. That's what we
really
like to
good.
hear.
Really, really, like it was close. I could get him. I'll give you the score of it. Okay, so I was
Winter
getting
Blast would be a good one as well for you.
Winter Blast. Winter Blast would be perfect. I'm getting the initial move on Jody. Jody has a lock when he is completely wide open in a complete losing position about 2 inches from the pad. And it's just the most awkward, most annoying lock ever. And I could get him to there, and we went back and forth, and I pinned him a little, he pinned me a little, and we kind of tested each other out. But I think it would be fairly competitive match.
Yeah, beautiful. That's what we want to hear. That's
So
what I like about all these big events where you can bump into people and feel and go, right, we're on here. Let's have a match.
Whoever thinks that or whoever has the deepest pockets can get that match going. And I know Jody wants it really bad too.
There you go. 90. If anyone from the 98% is in the chat, get in there. Neil's in the chat. He says, "Mother fluffers, evening, John. Just out of the shower, and lots of people have messaged about getting one of the Get the Boat sports shirts I had on the fix. Link is on his community tab now. So if you want to go over, buy the shirt, you know where to go. Neil picked up Supernatural Strength Official.
What's up, Neil? Hey, I haven't talked to Neil yet, but Neil, I know we've talked about Jody before, but I pulled him now. It would be good. It would be good.
There you go. You've heard it now. Book that match, Neil. When is it? Arm Wars is Ironhouse 3's in March as well.
I believe, yeah, eyeing up sometime late March. Last I heard. I don't think there's official dates yet.
How far is Norway to England?
Norway to England. Well, it's not. It can't be too far. It can't be like a couple hour plane ride probably.
Because I wonder if it's the weekend. If Ironhouse is the weekend after. When I'm in Norway.
The Norway, right.
I could just stay a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. It's on. John, late March. Book it.
Yes. All right. Well, Jody's going to be very excited about that. He's going to be very excited.
This is why you watch the channel. Because matches and Arm Wars
just
matches
pops right up.
Been announced.
Yeah.
Brady, will it be left arm?
Yeah, left arm. If Jody has a lot of issues in his right wrist, and I've got massive issues in my right shoulder right now. So I think we would probably be a good match for each other, right-handed too, but not when we're both all messed up like this. So left hand, 100%. End of March, me, Jody Williams, bang a gong, get it on, Arm Wars Ironhouse 3.
There we go. So if that's late March, that's it. I'm looking at my calendar.
Oops.
Oh, and John's disappeared.
There we go.
Because so the weekend of the 18th and the 19th is when I'm in Norway, and there's only one more weekend in March, and that's the weekend after.
Ooh.
Neil, use your common sense, mate, and get me involved. Because I know unless you're involved, you can't come into the Ironhouse, which is totally 100%. I understand, and I respect that. But I could be in the area. I'd have to check prices and everything like that first, and probably check with my wife.
Yeah, the whole wife issue, the whole wife thing. Yeah, but
have you had a chance to check out any of the Monster Factory?
So I have not. Well, let's say this: when I go anywhere and I hang out with the likes of Robert Kelly and Artem Taranenko, we're very busy during the event, and then we make ourselves very busy after the event too. So I haven't fully sat down to watch all of them, but I've seen highlights, and man, what a couple of surprising results. Like, let me give a shout out to Brandon Alcesser, because I was like, there is no way Brandon Alcesser is going to be. I was like I would have bet. I don't bet, and I would have bet a couple $100 on Craig Boulier, right? So
especially
good on him.
When he said how bad his weight cut was.
Mm-hmm.
He was like my weight cut, and he was sitting in a bath, and he was fucking struggling and things like that. And I'm like, oh, you're cooked. You're cooked. It's Craig Boulier by about 30-0, I would have picked.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that means. If it means that Brandon is just really, really, really doing well, or if maybe Craig is down. I mean, Craig looked like a freaking man built out of granite, as he usually does.
His problem was? You know what Craig's problem was? He wore a lighter watch. He had a smaller watch on his opposite hand. He usually has about a 40-kilo watch that counterbalances him and anchors him down, and he didn't have it. That's why he lost.
I see. So really good on Brandon Alcesser. Very happy for him. Also, big shout out to Corey West. I'm always in Gorilla's corner, right? I'm a Gorilla fan, but I was like, I don't know. Where is it? Sure, we saw Cody Merritt do not so well against Morozov, but Cody Merritt's WAF world champion, right? He's a bad dude. And then, to see that Corey is able to do that, I know I saw a quick poll, but for me, it's all about Morozov, man. Corey West, Morozov, book it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it was, and I think the poll 54%. I think a few people had voted Hermes and Alex because Morozov has told Engen that he's going to have some time off. So
okay,
I think everyone's we just want to see Corey pull left hand now.
Me too. The timing would be important to me as well. I would like to see Corey keep the momentum up now. Keep the momentum up. I know that he's always working hard. He's like
435 pounds.
He's just such a genuine, true dude that just really wants to just be freaking strong and be good. And I don't know. I admire that in him. So I do want to see him pull again and soon.
That was I think he's pulling right arm against Ferret Osmilani at East versus West in January. So we'll see Corey pull right arm. But that left arm, was just so easy.
Yeah, incredible.
He did it so easy. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck?
See, I'm telling you, people are so convinced that they understand the nuances of the levels of the game of arm wrestling. I'm sorry to break it to you, but none of us do. And each time we think we do, it all gets flopped on its head 2 seconds later.
Yeah, I wrote down a whole heap of guarantees. My two guarantees were Craig versus Brandon and Pauline versus Pablo. I was like, guarantee those ones. Beautiful. So there's 2 for me. Said if there was maybe going to be an upset, it'd be Chance versus BJ. And I was like, if there was. And then I was like, and then that turned out to just be an absolute stonewalling. Made BJ Fakakis look like he was 140 pounds.
Yeah, Chance. Buddy, the tugboat, bro. I don't know,
the
man.
Anchor down.
BJ Fakakis is a strong MF dude. And I mean, Chance is really, really doing it. He's doing it. Guys like Chance, guys like Artem, guys that we've watched, guys like Bowen that we've seen for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and they're just pushing. It's really incredible to see what they're doing with themselves.
Yeah. James Carter says, good job in your matches, Uncle John. Artem
Thanks, James.
Surprised me.
Artem was looking great. Really, really good.
He's just, he's got a taste of the big stage now and, wants to be, he doesn't want to be a YouTuber anymore. In the sense, he doesn't want to be a YouTuber that arm wrestles. Yeah. He wants to be known as an arm wrestler now. So,
dude, he's there. He's there. His level is high. Very, very good.
I'd like to know what his dose is.
High. Also high.
It's great, Artem's pushing because he's training, he's skyrocketing as well, and everything like that. But then the old school part of me is like, man, you've really got to put yourself in some danger. You know what I mean, to get to the next level in this sport.
Yes. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about that.
But Adam's a grown up. He'll be fine.
He'll
So
do what he's got to do.
after seeing Chanshaw dominate BJ, he just said, BJ, get the Fakakis out of here. You're not on my level. I was happening to be watching the match with the one Ryan Bowen.
Yes.
Will that be the same result?
I mean, I think Ryan should continue his path of getting as strong as possible before he fights Chance. That would be my recommendation. Get really, really strong because Chance is looking good. I think, Chance had that success and then he ran into those losses that he had. And I think those losses really were the best thing for him because clearly he has changed some things. He is, whether that is smarter in picking opponents or smarter in identifying where he needs to attack opponents or whatever it is, he's doing something right.
Yeah. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks good. He's looking the goods, and I think we worked it out. I think it's about a 30 kilo weight difference. So Ryan weighs about 105 kilos. So is that 60 pounds?
65 pounds, something like that.
Yeah. I love you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's significant.
Yeah.
But hey, let's look at it this way. For Ryan, if he loses, he might get more clicks than if he wins.
Probably.
So he could be a winner even if he is a loser.
Well, he's given away a lot of money whether he wins or loses.
Oh, I did see some of this. I've kind of been out of it for the weekend, but I did see that he's doing some cool stuff with that.
Yeah, so what's happening? I'll just update everyone in the chat. So it's going to be on his membership channel. So you pay your $6-7 a month, and then they're splitting it 60-40. So say they get 10,000 buys, or say they get 2,000 buys, that could be $12,000. So 60% of that, you get your $8,000 goes to Chance if Chance wins. And Ryan's going to give $4,000 to one of his subscribers.
Nice.
Yeah. Imagine trolling Ryan Bowen for years and he gives you $4,000.
Oh my God! Just imagine having the stamina to troll Ryan Bowen for years.
Wow, mate, that's what pays his bills. That's what I mean. Like, you're friends with Ryan. I'm friends with Ryan, but we don't watch all of his content. We're off doing other stuff and things like that. Yeah. Where the haters watch everything to get that next, fucking delusional. So they're paying his bills. Yeah. Dan Lou saying Chance going undefeated this year. Do you mean next
23?
year?
23?
Yeah, because he lost to Todd Dillon and Ron Barth this year.
Yeah.
And Sandris, he lost to Sandris this year. Mm-hmm. But if you mean in 2023, could be quite a possibility.
I mean, if he can keep up the pace that he's been going at and not get injured, that's the big thing, right? You got to push hard, but you realize that these matches, these high-level matches where you put as much as these guys are putting into it, there is a high possibility of some injury going on,
Absolutely. I want to talk about that injury in the pre-show if you checked it out at the Monster Factory. Disney Busy says, I suppose RVJ officially turned down the same type of challenge from Blue. Yeah, they are trying to book a date for the match, and I reckon Ryan would offer still the same because he would just have another pay-per-view match with Rob Fitchin Jr. I know they're still trying. Super chat from Unidentified X. He says, we need a Devon versus Levan rematch, both weighing the same to make it fair. Levan needs to lose some weight.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No. He weighs less than Corey West, I think. Yep. Corey West weighs 197 kilos. And Levan, I think, weighed in at 178.
Wow. That's something else, man. Like, yeah, if Levan had to come down to, let's say, 330, I think Devon would have a much, 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 much better chance. but I don't think that's happening at all.
No.
In any way, shape,
No.
or form.
Because too much is happening outside of arm wrestling for Levan. Like, he is becoming mega rich outside of it because he's the best arm wrestler in the world, because he's never lost a super match. So he's just, you got to take advantage. He doesn't care about people in the internet saying, oh, he needs to lose weight. He's just like, oh, this movie want me to voice act for $10,000. Why? Because I'm the number one. Oh, like he does all the television show things.
Yep.
Like, so, yeah.
He's making that money.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, Identified X. Thank you very much for the super chat. The Cane says, Ryan better do a huge cycle and stay away from the Swedish meatballs this time. Which is good. What else are people saying? Lucha would rather see Blue versus the King. Which is
I want to see Roger. What is Roger up to next? I want to see
Tell us,
Roger in action again.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about Roger. I don't remember if it was good or bad though. It might have been bad.
Yeah.
It was probably bad.
David disagrees with the poll. He says none of the above. He should pull Pavlo. Did you all not see the practice pull? Laugh out loud.
Corey versus Pavlo?
Pavlo on Chance's channel. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't take too much into after pulls.
I would say sure, but I would, once again, maybe I'd lose my ass, but I would put a lot of money on Corey in that one. I mean, Pavlo's incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that Michael, although I love Michael on his left, like I love watching Michael on his left is not his right, guys. You have to remember that his right is in a different universe, and his left is just really, really good, right? Yeah. So you have to know that there's a big gap between the levels of right and left arms for Michael. So, the fact that Michael lost to Pavlo is not shocking. The fact that's shocking is that Pavlo was so dominant about it. That's what shocked me. So good for Pavlo. For Michael, I think, his left is something he'll use when he can use it. And I know Michael hates to lose. But I'm really glad that he does put the left up there, even if he's not as confident in it, because it's so exciting to watch him pull left. And, this match, not so much, but next one, who knows? It'll be a killer.
The best thing I love about Monster Michael Todd, he's like, it's my event. I can do what I want. I'm not sure if you watch it. He's like, he lost 3-0, unfortunately, quite convincingly. But then he's like, I want to see if I can King's move. Stay on the table. So I think Pavlo won like 6-0. So if they just kept doing more after the match, straight after, he's like, don't go anywhere. I want to see if we can do this and do this. Yeah. But no, Pavlo Dubeniev was amazing.
Total beast.
And the way he manhandled Paul Lynn, yes, there was a weight gap, but is that an announcement for you?
Nope.
Nah. So I know the weight difference was
it was
a little bit bigger.
50 pounds or 40 pounds maybe.
Yeah. But that Australia win in that Monster Michael Todd Pavlo match, because how good is Lachlan Adair on the left arm?
Right. Yeah. Very nice. Good match for Lachlan. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'd like to see them two rematch, actually, Pavlo versus Lachlan. Yeah. I just wish it didn't cost so much money for people to fly to Australia, because I'd love a really good international undercard. So if you have Ryan versus Chance, then I'd love Lachlan versus Pavlo rematch.
Yep.
We'll find someone for you to come over. I would love more about that.
It would be awesome.
Benji Mac says, need you two at the next Monster Michael Todd event, Jake and Uncle John.
I would love that.
Oh, mate, to call an event together, like in the same room, would be awesome. But America are being jerks. I was supposed to be at the Monster Factory event. I was invited to commentate, but
Yeah.
You know.
I did come into the U.S., obviously, to go to Washington States, and all you have to do is click, yes, I attest that I have been vaccinated. And then nobody ever asks you again. Like, nobody asked me to validate anything. But if they do ask you, then you're going to be really, really, really in big trouble.
That's the thing. It's I know Australia are really bad at it about leaving. So it's a matter of it's a very expensive gamble. Like I've heard some good things, and I've heard some bad things about getting away with it, and they don't do this and they don't do that. But then if I spend, or if a promoter spends $3,000 to get me over, and then I'm like, oh yeah, no, they're not letting me leave the country. Then it's like,
wait, yes, it's all lost then.
Yeah, very hard to get that money back. So
so eventually, though, like it's happening. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We will get it hammered out, and I think as Arm Gods continues to grow, I think we'll see where things land there. And I think that Arm Gods for us is a big opportunity to be incredibly creative with what we want to do and how we want to do it, and really make those moments and make those moments that stick out to people. So I'll never let the idea die that the match doesn't even matter. It's only about the moments of the match that matter.
That's right. When you ream a couple of twins, which is
right.
Which is good. What have we got? Arm Gods, says Ryan Bussier, which is good. Jake, can you get to the States via Canada? Maybe.
It'll be the same. It'll be the same. Like you can do it, but you'll still have to do the attestation.
Yeah. So like I can come to Canada now. That's not a problem. I can come to Canada, but then once again, if I try and fly to New York, I
wonder if you have to do it if you drive. Like if you came to Nova Scotia, and then we drove from Nova Scotia and went down through Maine. We could go to Boston and New York, we could do a big tour like that. But I don't know if driving is different.
Yeah, I would assume it's just entering the country. It's not actually being on the plane. I think it's just entering the country. But that's all right. I'm only about to turn 38 years old. I've got plenty of time. This is an iron voice box. It will always be going. Craig Tullier, Brandon Alcessor. Let's bang on about that. Winning from a couple of arm break positions. I was literally cringing.
I have not gone back and watched the match yet. I just heard some of the details, and I was like, oh my God, because Craig Tullier is so explosive. And I did hear that there was some elbow issues, some foul issues. Is that correct?
So round one ended on fouls. Craig was... it was funny. So Craig fouled. Fouled a couple of times. And he was real dominant. Had Brandon cracked his wrist. So it was like, oh, Brandon gets a fucking token win. We were wrong. The next two rounds, Craig found a way to crack the wrist, and he does it. Then one in one of the rounds, Craig comes right off the back of the pad, and then the instant replay suddenly wasn't working. So then poor Luke Polsha, they went to go to the replay just to double check. And Luke Polsha ended up changing his decision.
Wow.
Ryan and I were watching it. He screenshotted it and he sent it to Michael. I know Michael's too busy to look at his phone, but he's like, Craig's elbow was clearly off the pad, 3 inches, and things like that.
Oh, that's funny. That's good. That's good. Look, for Brandon Alcessor, he's been all over the place. He had that weird win against Travis on the left hand where we were like, what's going on with that match? And then Travis said it was a fake match later on. But you can't trust Travis either. And
That's right.
And then I think Brandon he's had a mixed bit of luck here and there over the last year, but this is a big win. Big win.
Yeah, I know once he hydrated and ate, he was a bigger weight than Craig. So I think he lost like 20 pounds for the match.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. I heard somebody told me he was shooting to lose like at the last 7 pounds in the last day or something. So he must have done a pretty big water cut. And I was like, man, you're cutting weight. You're getting that much weight and you're going to pull Craig Tullier. And Craig is just probably walking around at that weight. So he comes in nice and thick and good. I'm like, there's no way. But goddamn, Brandon didn't want to die in that one.
Yeah, and it was always in a break arm position, and then Craig was somehow cracking the wrist, and that's how he was getting pins. But then when it was like a real bad, like Cobra Rhodes-esque break arm position, and Brandon wasn't watching, he was just like that, and something just happened a couple of times, and he somehow got his shoulder behind that flop press and leant over and got 2 extra pins and won. It was match of the night by the Flemington Straight. Easy match of the night. Well,
this is the thing. Like, this is a really good representation of, we make predictions all the time. And then we get predictions wrong all the time. And then people are like, you got it wrong. That's like the best thing. Right?
Yeah.
When you get it wrong and you were like super, super, super convinced it was going to go one way and it goes the other way, you're like, do I know anything about this sport? And then you got to rethink things. And that's what keeps me coming back, is the constant evolution of the pullers and the way the battlefield looks. You never know where everybody is at because they go up, they go down, they go left, they go right. And it's always evolving. So perfect example.
Yeah, it's match. Like you're watching the final episode of Game of Thrones, and it's like, oh, well, Aussie arm wrestler and Uncle John are going to take over the kingdom. They've been best mates throughout this whole journey and things like that. And then right at the end, Uncle John, which he typically does, stabs me in the back. That's it, and then it just cuts the black and I'm bleeding, and Uncle John remains king. But that's the talking point, isn't it? We all thought Craig easy. And sometimes when I look at matches, I love that I get them wrong. I love it. I mean, unless you absolutely hate Devon and Devon fans, but all those people that we all knew Levan was going to win, and then he did win. It's like, cool.
Yeah, are you happy?
But if Devon won, we would still be talking about it. And that's why the Brandon Alcesta match, that's why we're talking about Pablo Devenyev beating Paul Lynn. We're just like, whoa.
Unexpected.
Let me get back up onto it. So I thought it was great. They had I think they peaked at 3,200.
Not bad.
So fun fact for you, Uncle John, fun fact about you, how live commentary does not affect pay-per-view sales, in my opinion. So 3,200 people were watching it live. Yep. One other channel besides myself had about 10 people and decided to just cut their feed because they were a bit embarrassed. I had myself and Ryan, and we peaked at 135. And when at the thingo started, we were around 49 to 55 people listening to our commentary. So what I took from that, it's maybe the price of the pay-per-view.
Right.
Because when it was free, no one was really tuning into live commentary.
Right. Well,
so maybe a price of the pay-per-view. Now, maybe I'll try if we all agree to not, like all of us, all the channels agree not to do a live commentary, and they give us the honest data of the pay-per-view stars. But I think it may be the money.
Of course.
Oh, look, the Spermies. The live commentary would have helped. I'm not saying massive numbers, but a lot of people didn't know it was free. A little people weren't sure where to go. And like we've been banging on for ages, we were able to work that out. So, which was awesome. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, big guys that pull underneath like that.
Yeah.
And
we had an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one, a similar one with Jordan Sill hurt his left arm in a somewhat similar position to that against Artem. Possible bicep tear yesterday. He still came back and like wrecked house in the right hand class, but something went on him. But look, it's when you think and talk about injuries in arm wrestling, you just have to accept it, that it's going to happen at some point. You have to learn how to pull with your physiology and the way your body works, right? You have to figure that out. And a lot of times the guys who have the most problem are the guys who come in at a higher strength level, because the muscle power is there, but all the joints, all the tendons, all the ligaments, they have not had the time to, put into place. Now, a guy like Jordan Sill, that's not the case. He's been arm wrestling for a bazillion years. Everything is rock hard. He probably had an injury, and then that was exacerbated during the match and probably let go. But it's just part of the deal. Like, I'm so tired of when people are like, we have to make arm wrestling safer. If you want to be safe, don't arm wrestle. It's a stupid thing to do. Arm wrestling is like the dumbest thing to do if you want to not be hurt. It's just the way it is.
The human body was not built to arm wrestle.
No.
It's not built to run ultra marathons, and things like that. It's not built to do massive weight cuts. And there's injuries in all sports. I remember one time before a footy match, I might have shared this story before on the channel. Before a footy match, I walked to get some breakfast to the cafe, walked back to my coach. I missed the next 4 weeks with a knee injury. I don't know what happened. I was just like, my knee's gone. So you just don't know what happens with your body.
Right.
Cliff Dunbar's pretty happy though. He says, highlight of my career was meeting Uncle John.
Cliff, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I got to meet Cliff.
Was Cliff a man or a woman?
Cliff was a man. Cliff's a man. Yep. So it was not the mystery. The mystery lady did not show up today. I also met B. Reezy. Do you remember B. Reezy? He hasn't been around in a while, but B. Reezy used to be in the chats all the time. I saw him there, so that was cool. I met a whole bunch of people actually. That it was just such a whirlwind. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but a lot of cool people. A lot of good arm wrestlers. Got to touch hands with a lot of people. It was a very good time.
Oh, it looked unreal. Rick Chains, how are you, buddy? Alex Clark was at the Monster Factory and he said it was perfect.
Nice.
Which was good. Yes, Spermies. We're still trying to figure out. And I know it's not you, Spermies. How do I know? Because Spermy signed up as a Patreon person and used his real name.
There's your big mistake. Fatal
it's
mistake.
The same picture.
Spermies.
So Spermies has been eliminated. Spermies after Screamy is a man. Or he could be a woman with a man's name.
Oh.
So
what is a woman, Jake?
Oh,
I shouldn't.
How bad is that documentary? That makes me sick.
I shouldn't say it too loud. I'm in Portland right now.
Are they all weird in Portland? I only know one thing about Portland, and that's the Trailblazers.
Yeah, they're here. It's a very open place.
Oh.
Liberal, very, very liberal place. Maybe the most liberal place in the United States. Yeah.
Oh, that's bloody ridiculous. I'm going back now through all the names. I know Benji Mack is a man because he sent me a few videos. We know the Chicken Man is a man.
Chicken Man, strawberry cough.
Oh, I mentioned it at the start of the stream. You'll love this. And this is what we love about the strawberry cough. So he pulled on the pre-show the day before. They had a few matches to, double check audios and videos and whatnot. Joel Cagle wins both of his matches, right arm, left arm.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Gets on the microphone and promotes his event that is on the same day as the Monster Factory and proceeds to then say that they might have the Monster Factory on the screen. So he's like, we've got this race 1st to 20 tomorrow. Make sure you all come down and train. It's going to be cool. We're going to have heaps of people there. Like Michael Todd's standing behind him. He's like, oh, we might have the Monster Factory up on the big screen and things like that. And I'm like, watching it, and I was like, oh no, Joel, we love you, but you can't do that.
What a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
And
I love him.
like, oh.
Look, you just when the strawberry cough is ready to go, you just let the man go. That's what we love about him. Chicken Man does what Chicken Man does.
That's why they call him the strawberry cough. Troy Brown says we had a good event. Laugh out loud. Were you at the race to 20 event? Was that where you at, or were you at Washington States? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Who else went to Washington State?
Oh man, so Andre Sharkovich was there. Jordan Sill was there. This guy named Gage Jordan, who I'd never met before. Really strong on the
Jordan.
Gage Jordan. He beat Jordan Sill convincingly left-handed in a super match before the tournament, and he did pretty well in the tournament too. Really impressive. Corey Miller. He won both of his classes, and I think he won the right hand overall as well. I'm trying to think of who the heck else was there. Jacob Abbott was in there.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. I had a really good talk with Jacob Abbott after, and like just one of the nicest guys that you're gonna find. Jacob Abbott, yeah, awesome dude. I also met Pastor Mark. You know Pastor Mark?
No.
He's got a YouTube channel. I don't know what his YouTube channel is called. If it's called Pastor Mark, but that's what he's called. He's called Pastor Mark. He's a pastor. His name's Mark, and he's from out here. And he's a fun puller to watch as well. He's in the probably 98s or 76s or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, Pastor Mark. There was a good cross section of people. I got to meet, or I saw for the first time in a long time, Leonard Harkless. And I saw Leonard a lot when I first started my career. You know, he's one of the best, referees in the world. And I used to see him a lot because I was doing all the U.S. tournaments. So it was nice to see him again. I saw a couple guys from Canada, Dave Hicks and Anthony D'Antonio. Both those guys are like Dave Hicks is like mega legend level. Anthony D'Antonio, like 25 national titles or something stupid like that. Like incredible arm wrestlers were there. Scott Wynn, saw him. A whole bunch of people were there. It was good stuff.
There you go. Muscle Bike is just with a quick little super chat. Says, got to shoot, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks heaps, mate. Hopefully tomorrow is a bit of a relaunch for the channel, and then we get more people at the awards night later on in the week, which we need to decide a day for. So,
have you ever heard of Lee Aaron Wilson?
Yes, only recently because like people have wanting. Sarah wants to beat her. She had a good match, I think, at the last Monster Factory. She's becoming like the new American. Is she American or Canadian?
American, as far as I know. She was murdering people. She went into the men's 154s and like did well. Like she's a tank.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she had about 100 matches in the tournament, and then she was still pulling her ass off like for 4 hours at the afterfall. Like incredible stamina, ridiculous.
What a beast! How many were in the women's division?
I'm not sure how many. I mean, lower as you would expect.
Of course.
But just she had a super match. She won that. There was just nobody could really answer her. And I asked her. I went up to interview people after their super matches, and I'm like, Lee Aaron, you are obviously skyrocketing to the top. Where do you go from here? And she's like, I am the top. You come to me now. And I just lost.
Oh, what a champion.
So yeah, it was so good.
All right, that one for sure. Oh, that's cool then. I'll have to keep a close eye on her.
She's very good.
Close eyes on her, guys. A reminder, this time tomorrow, Sarah Backman coming on the show. I have to make sure I get a lever. I have to get her actual last name right. Because of her married name, because
right.
During King of the Table, the husband was on Facebook
going
nuts because I'm calling her Olivia.
Oh,
There's no second eye in there.
how dare you?
Yeah. So it's very, very, very weird the way that it's all going to go. But we've don't forget later on in the week, guys, the awards night. Tom's lost his camera.
I'm here. I was just double checking to make sure I don't miss my flight. I still got a lot of time.
Oh no. Oh, Rebecca's woken up. Rebecca Todd's woken up. She was having a nap. Michael was telling you just before you were having a nap as we were just recapping the whole event, Rebecca. Congratulations.
Well deserved.
Imagine how knackered you are, and happy birthday. You did it all on your birthday.
Look, the more events I do and the more places I go, the more respect I have for the people who regularly put on the events, because it's brutal, man. It's brutal. Like you and I have both done enough events now where we know what it takes, and whether you are the commentator or the scorekeeper or the referee, you are going to be boned after that event. You know, it's brutal.
Yeah, I've even just like I've never organized an event.
Mm-hmm.
She's freaking worn out.
Yeah, I believe it.
But Rebecca had to do they were in Vegas, not that a few days before the event. And you know, because you're at an airport now, how tiring traveling is.
Mm-hmm.
Organizing and demanding stuff from the athletes to help out. It is just. And then Rebecca tried to get up and pull the event. She was commentating the event. But not only was she trying to commentate, you could watch her. She's on the computer, making sure it's working and that is working, making sure the athletes are there. And
well, look, when you look at people in the room, you got a bunch of arm wrestling dudes, right? Rebecca's IQ is probably more than most of the guys in there combined. So she has to take on all the extra responsibilities that none of the other knuckleheads can handle. Right. So obviously she's doing 2 to 10 times the work everyone else is in the room, most likely.
Oh, yeah. She'd be organizing all the pullers and things like that. So congratulations to you. I hope you guys do more Monster Factories. Alex with a quick super chat. Thank you, mate. He says, watch Pavlo versus Corey after pull. He got him in a hook. I haven't watched it. We were talking about it earlier. I'm not getting sucked into after pulls anymore.
You guys got to remember, I think this is the most misunderstood thing about after pulls is that you don't generally hit in an after pull. And a lot of times the guy who is the more powerful guy will allow a very significant grip to be taken on him, or he will grip really low to get, to really see, okay, because we know Pavlo is super duper strong inside, and then Corey just gives him what he wants and allows him. I haven't watched it either, but that may be what we're dealing with. So if you haven't watched 10,000 arm wrestling matches, sometimes you can't see it. But when you have watched 10,000 arm wrestling matches, then you can start to see what each competitor is giving up in the setup and who's gaining what and where they're gaining and why these types of things happen. Now, I'm not willing to say that Pavlo is, not on the same planet as Corey, but Corey is a large man with a large amount of power. I would put him well in the favorite column there.
Yeah, and Rebecca is, if you're going to talk about Rebecca's son, Corey, you're going to hear from her. She says, look at where Corey let him grab. He covered his entire thumb. Corey let him start there for fun, but still very
Oh, yeah. There you go. Me and Rebecca.
When you talk about Rebecca, you talk about her opponent who only had one gear. Sarah Latona has become officially, well, that could be a new poll. Right, I've got a new poll for you, Uncle John. Who was more rude? Was Joel Cagle promoting another event during a live stream at the Monsters event? Or Sarah Latona flash pinning Rebecca 3 times in a row? Who was more rude?
Oh, man. Well, you got to take your moment, I guess, to shine one way or another. I always give a heads up for that. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. That's good. But, for Sarah, for her, this is, that's a big women's match, right? Women's matches on the big stages like that they're not a dime a dozen, right? They're they are few and far between, and you might have one on an event, one spot. So Sarah, I think was wise to try to really put an exclamation mark on things, let people know that she is super duper serious competitor. Again, I haven't watched that full match either, but if that's the case, then, you have to choose, right? You have to choose how you want to look as a competitor. You have to choose who you're going to be viewed as, your choices about how you act, react, and interact on the table is what's going to dictate that. And as long as you are acting and understanding that you will have the repercussions of that one way or other, then let it rip. Just make your decision and fucking rock and roll.
Well, I've got a challenge for you, Uncle John, at Winter Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Representing the Aussie arm wrestler is Sarah Latona.
Okay.
Representing the Uncle John's arm wrestling show is Erin Wilson.
Ooh.
At Winter Blast.
Yes.
Make that happen.
Let's
Make that happen.
I like them both, but I will 100% be in Lear and Wilson's corner if that match happens, for sure.
And if I'm over there, I will be flying the Sarah Latona flag. I think that would
be beautiful. I think that's got a storyline written all over it.
We need it. Jolene Clark says, I was chatting for Alex. He is driving. We still have 4 hours left to go. They were at the Monster Factory event.
Ah, yes.
Because Alex Clark was in the chat. The dead
nice.
Which is good, and everyone's just all having a chat with each other in the chat. I thought the Monster Factory was a success. Obviously, Becca and Michael will let us know in the future. Dominic Lorenz has been a member for 3 months, and he says Jake got a new hip. Michael and Devon cord blood.
Mm-hmm.
Guess it's
stem cells.
The stem cells.
Because it's umbilical cord blood.
Mate, isn't that the new thing? Like a couple about 6 months ago, it's like, everyone just get on the pancakes. Just get on the pancakes. And now everything is
Well, on my community page last week, I posted a screenshot from that South Park episode with Christopher Reeve when he's cracking open the
That was hilarious.
It's funny. It's funny how these waves come and go, and the longer you're in the community, you see these waves and the popularity of certain things, which is driven by the main characters. I just think it's hilarious how it all works, and I hope it's something that does work for arm wrestlers, because it's something that I would very much be interested in. I'm just not going to put a ton of money into it until I see a few more long-term results from these guys.
Yeah, no, it's not for me. I will let Father Time win, and I'll go down swinging. It took me 9 years to get a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry to get things done. Guys, we'll go for about another 5 or so minutes. If you've got any last-minute questions to talk about what is happening, what was your most impressive moments, which was good. Troy Bounce Fit. Monster Factory, thank you very much for the super chat. He's very active on the Instagram, this guy. He's a very nice guy. I've been chatting with him. He says, Monster Factory is great. Here's 10 towards stem cells for Jake and Uncle John.
Thank you very much.
What I heard, it's a little bit more. So if you can turn that 10 into about 1,000.
Hey, so at Washington State, they had a booth there, and it was these people called Novakai. And they travel to events, and they have like all these little booster shots and IV things, IV drips and whatnot. So I got a B12 shred booster yesterday, and I actually feel pretty good. I don't know if it's like placebo or not, but whatever it did to me, it was feeling good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, fired me right up.
Random people inject you with stuff.
Yep, right there. Right. Signed a waiver. There you go.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Sign the dotted line. Sign that on the dotted line. Make sure you do that. Arm wrestling, says Jake's titanium hip. Thank you very much, Troy. You did set legend. Jake's titanium hip says arm wrestling is nothing more but stem cells and hair plugs anymore.
Hey, it's all about disassembling the sport, right? Breaking it down to its bare components, and hair plugs and stem cells are at the very bedrock of the whole thing.
It's almost like a worrying sign for North American arm wrestlers because they've got to go through all these major things to stay, to keep up. With the Europeans because they're 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
So they need to find the next big thing, and at the moment, it is stem cells.
Indeed.
Also, thank you very much, Jolene and Alex Clark, for a super chat. It says, also, Michael Todd is pretty awesome at bowling.
What was the score? I need a score.
Yeah.
What was the Michael Todd score? Look, that's what I want to know.
Guys, what you can all do is shut your mouth and just watch the Aussie arm wrestler bowl. When I was a personal trainer, I was training a women's world champion.
Bowler.
10-pin bowler.
Wow.
She won the World Cup in 2020 or 2021. She won the World Cup. Rebecca Whiting is her name. And, yeah.
Do they do specific workouts for, like, their pronation to, like, twist the ball and stuff?
She just bowls. She just bowls. And so I was just helping her with cardio because she's like bowling for 8 hours a day, and she was relatively bigger.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm just getting tired by the end of it. And
so, Nice.
But I will whoop anyone, and table tennis. I will whoop anyone in table tennis. What's your unnecessarily you'll never use in your life hidden talent, Uncle John?
See, if I have a talent, I immediately get obsessed about it. So, I mean, painting action figures is pretty obscure and useless, but I do a lot of that.
And you're very good at it. Oh no, Uncle John. Rebecca Todd says I've got important info. Apparently, no one checked Kyle. He come from Perth. He's on the left side of the country.
Really? But did he have to give an attestation? Because that's what they call. That's what I had to do when I checked in for my flight to come from Canada to the U.S. They say blah blah blah. You must promise that you've had the vaccinations. Click here to do your attestation. Say yes, I've done that. So did he have to do that? And then nobody checked me either. So it's just a matter of, like, I suppose if you were to get stopped at border control or customs, and then you got stopped for something else, like whatever, and then they're like, oh, by the way, can we see your vaccination documents? Then you would be up a tree. But what's the percentage on that? What's the over under on the likelihood of that happening? I don't know.
Because then it's more, is anything connected to your passport? Because they scan your passports a lot.
Yes. So your attestation would be connected with your passport, but your official vaccine records may not be attached to your passport.
Yeah, because I almost didn't get my hip replacement. Alarms went off at the hospital. So I went and I had to fill out a form, and I said no. And literally alarms went off and flashed. And then they just went, oh, Jake, it says here you haven't got it. So, oh, sorry, I ticked the wrong thing. Like, I almost didn't get my hip surgery here in Melbourne. And I just had to lie. And then just before I went under, all these nurses are like whinging, oh, they let too many people in here that are unvaccinated, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there lying, like ready to get it, almost ready to get it done. I'm like, hurry up and grab me. Hurry up and grab me so I can at least get it done. I'll tell you afterwards that I haven't got it and I'll get sent home, but I just need the new hip. So, yeah, I'll have a chat with 201 was Michael's score.
201 is respect to Michael. Respect. Does he just whip it? Does it I imagine Michael Todd bowls and he throws that ball so hard. That's how it is in my head. He bowls like he arm wrestles left-handed, like just harder hard as possible.
I could see poor Rebecca getting the shoulder. And what I mean by that, Michael Todd leans up and he bowls it and he feels like it's really good and it just curves off and he gets a 7. And then Rebecca comes up and puts her hand on the shoulder. It's all right, baby. And he gives one of these ones. Jake's titanium hip says he doesn't bowl, he shot puts it. Could you imagine why he's got the 10 pin bowl like that?
Yes. I think it should be on our bucket list now to bowl with Michael Todd, and we'll make it into a video, bowling with Michael.
Yeah. I want to go over there and because I know Michael's going for 100 first places, so I want to if I can get over there next year, I want to challenge to the monster cup and
different activities. Yeah.
We both pick 2 activities that we really like. Rebecca can pick the 5th one. And then if Michael beats me, he wins the cup. Therefore, it's a first place.
Love it.
We do
very good
bowling and table tennis and shoot the basketball or something. I'd go against him in a game of horse and
yeah. That's great stuff. Golden content.
He could do you reckon he would shot put it, or do you reckon he'd just throw it like a baseball?
Probably whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. I'm the worst bowler ever. I'll get 115 is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably bowl a 113. Rebecca says, the arm wrestler. I don't know about that. I'll speak to Kyle. But someone had an interesting idea for Monster Factory 4 that would involve me and another personality. Just message me, Rebecca, or phone call. I'm always available. And fingers crossed, we can sort something out.
When is number 4? What's the date on it?
I don't think they've got a date on it yet.
Okay.
I was having a chat with them last week on the show, and it was more. I asked with the quest for 100, will we get another Monster Factory next year? Because if we get 4 East versus West, depending on what day England's away, because sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's 8 East versus West next year. So I'm going to go with 4. 4 King of the Tables, 2 Iron Houses, 2 Monster Factories, a We the North, 1 to 2 Arm Gods.
Yeah.
We're at 15 events.
That's a lot, man. That is a lot.
So
what a time to be alive in arm wrestling, huh?
Yeah, and then there's other people like Washington State. That's becoming a big, massive event. We commentated Michigan State. PAL tried to do an event. I don't know what's going on with those guys if they're coming back into it with the Matt Mars versus Tim Bresnan match. Michael and Ryan Espy. But it's just all building up. And, hopefully we'll be very, very busy. Very busy.
Nice.
Which is very interesting. Any other last-minute questions, guys? Any last-minute questions? Let us know in the comments. You're dead set legend. Massive week. Like I said before, Sarah Backman on the show tomorrow. Then the #1 awards show ever. Uncle John and Aussie Arm Wrestle will probably have a maximum baying Thursday or Friday or whatever. We're going to work it out. And we're giving away some massive ones. Yes, you'll have Match of the Year and Event of the Year and Puller of the Year. But we're going to come up with some weird categories.
Yeah. The weird ones are the best.
Yeah, which is awesome. Cliffy Boy, your new best mate, says Arm Wrestling Purple Patch. I'm all for it.
No doubt.
Rebecca just letting us know they do have a date, but can't announce it yet.
Cool.
That would be a very hard thing as well, because everyone's got ranges of ideas,
Yeah.
But of course, everyone wants to work in with each other. Like Monster Factory don't want to be on the same day as King of the Table. King of the Table, of course, being Core Sports, won't be on the same day as East versus West. So it's very hard now. Where it was like when all the YouTube channels went live. We're all trying to look after each other, but now it's like
it is what it
everyone's
is.
going live. You just got to go when you do it. So we're almost that stage now with events. I mean, we had Washington State and Monster Factory on the same day.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be happening more and more. You know, more events, more conflicts that are going to happen, and I think it's something that people are just going to have to figure out as we go, do our best to avoid, and hopefully, it all works out for the most part. But there will be conflict in 2023. Mark my words.
SMH. SMH. Guys, but why Uncle Johnny is giggling his tits off. I like to I spend some time every day and I try and reply to as many comments and messages as I get as an appreciation. But if you write, mark my words, I don't reply. I don't reply because, fun fact, unfortunately, there's only so many times in a day when you're raising a young family, you're trying to do this full time, you're going to make sure the bills are paid. I don't have time to go back to videos and go, oh my God.
Well, in my opinion, that's just delusional, Aussie.
Fuck that word as well. Come up with another word. Please. Every day I read it. It's about everyone else. But yeah. All right, you Dead Set Legends. We will wrap up the show there. Remember, Sarah Backman is coming on the show. I have another sports channel called Aussie Calls It. If you guys can, I've got a few videos out. I've started my top 10 countdown for matches of the year. If you can just go back and bump the views on that video, that would be amazing. And then, there we go. Monster Factory 4 tentative.
Nice.
We've had 2 exclusives on this one. We've just had an Armor match announced, and now the tentative spot for
heard it here
Monster
first.
Factory. I'm going to write that down, mate. So, Gods and East versus West in January. King of the Table in February. Iron House, and I'm going to Norway. So Norway versus Sweden super matches in March. Engen said April will be East versus West 7. And Monster Factory 4.
It's going to be a busy year, dude. It's going to be a busy year.
Shit. Yeah. I need to invest in frequent flyers or something like that. I'm just assuming I'm going to get invited to them all. Look at me. Hey, get off your high horse, Aussie Arrows. You can't even get into half of these countries. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going everywhere.
Nice. I love it. You got it.
They're going back get it. 5 p.m., which is awesome, Rebecca, because then that will be about 9 a.m. my time. Not 3 a.m., 4 a.m. which is good. And of course, there's my other channel, which is good. You guys have all been Dead Set Legends. I love you all, and Uncle John and I will see you very, very soon.